Hey, what's good? I'm Kinnell and this is the Sinister Cinema channel, but this is not a Sinister Cinema show today. This is some different content I'm going to be doing. I was considering maybe making a different channel for it, but I can't be arsed, so it is what it is. This is the channel to subscribe to if you want to hear about this content. If not, I'm going to clearly label all the videos so you can just skip them if you can't be arsed and you only want to see the stuff about horror films. But this is, I'm going to be documenting something else that I've got going on in my life at the minute. As of tomorrow, we're going to call this day -1. I will be participating in trials for the Novavax 2019 nCoV 302 vaccine for the coronavirus. Yep. That's it. I decided to put my name forward. This vaccine is currently in stage 3, which means there's a few people had it already. I think there's a couple of hundred had it so far. No one's died or got seriously ill or anything like that. So now it's on to the wider scale of testing, which is more about finding the effectiveness and, you know, how good it is as a vaccine. Now, there's a reason I decided to put my name forward is because I'm fairly confident it's not going to kill me, and I think it's going to help. I particularly feel at the minute that the lockdown rules that we're currently living under are bullshit, so if I could do a little something to get that out of the way, then I'm happy to do that. And also, with regard to vaccines, particularly at the minute, I'm seeing all sorts of wild speculation from people who don't have a clue on the subject. A lot of it's on Facebook, and I'm seeing a lot of people getting into sort of conspiracy theories that weren't into it prior to coronavirus kicking off and all the lockdowns and all this. A lot of people spent a lot more time alone, and like, I love my conspiracy theories, but a lot of these people haven't got the same kind of they haven't got the bullshit filter that long-term conspiracy theorists have. Like, you know, no one really believes all this shit. Conspiracy theories generally are a mixture of stuff that's true and stuff that's fun, and some stuff that's just complete and utter bollocks to push a political angle. There's a lot of this regards vaccines. I'm seeing a lot of anti-vax talk at the minute, and a lot of what I'm seeing in that, they're using the same points from before any vaccine was even trialed or put into production, or before development even started. A lot of people are just anti-vaccine in general, and there's other people who say, like, we don't need one because COVID's just like a flu. But I mean, even if we assume that, flu does kill people, and lives are saved every year by flu shots. I got a mate, she's got issues with her immune system from other things. Every year, if she had the flu, it'd kill her. So she has a flu shot every year, and she doesn't get the fucking flu, and she doesn't die. So that's that. And then other people that maybe don't have that kind of condition, they get the flu shot, and then the flu doesn't spread as much. So not everyone has to have it, but the more people do have it, it helps. And yeah, so it's one of them. And currently, I think we're dealing with some complete and utter fuck shit with this lockdown at the minute. I feel like a lot of industries, particularly hospitality and nightlife, are being excessively harmed by that. When things started opening up again, when we started being able to go back to the pubs and all this, the infection rate kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and then like they opened the schools up and it slowly started rising again, because that's how fucking viruses get around. If you've ever worked in an office, you know how you get every fucking bug that goes around, and it always comes in because of someone who's got kids. Flipping their kids catch it, and then they get it off the kids, and then they bring it into the office, and then everyone gets it. And you know, but we got ways of dealing with flu that are a bit more efficient than COVID. I also fucking fully acknowledge that it's not something that it's got a particularly low fatality rate. However, I know some people who, like, whilst they haven't been killed by it, you know, it's fucking definitely affected their life in like quite a long-term way. Like, I don't know, it's shite anyway. And as long as those kind of things are actual reality, then we're going to be dealing with these lockdown fucking circumstances, which is bullshit, you know, this whole 10 o'clock rule. I mean, you know, personally, I feel that the current restrictions that we're under are excessive. I think the reason for it is because the Tories want to carry on being overly cautious, because that's an easier position to defend in retrospect, rather than what the initial narrative was, that they didn't move quick enough and a lot of the people who were most vulnerable to it died up front as a result. It's a lot easier to defend the position of we were too cautious than we let a lot of fucking people die. And I don't think they're in a particular rush to help out the nightlife industry. You know, nightlife and hospitality is something like our sixth biggest industry or something, brings a lot into this country. I mean, like, culture in this country is one of the things that really does set us apart. You know, music, art, comedy, all this kind of shit, and it's all suffering under these lockdown circumstances. And I get the idea that, you know, they'd rather shut those industries down than shut education down. But at the end of the day, education's publicly funded. Fucking, if we had to shut the schools down for a bit more, the schools would still be fucking there afterwards. You can't say that about nightclubs, comedy clubs, restaurants that are unable to deliver with the services, like, you know, a big part of what their income is. It's fucking like that. A lot of fucking people I know who work in the arts, who work in entertainment, and not even as artists or entertainers, people who work in other functions that supplement that industry, are really suffering right now because of this bullshit lockdown, and it isn't really their fault. So, yeah, fuck the government. I don't think they're in a particular rush to fucking get nightlife back open. I don't think they have the slightest problem with letting nightclubs go bust so that their property investing mates can fucking sweep it in, get a bargain, open up some fucking student flats or whatever, or fucking, if it's in a particularly nice area, then fucking like luxury flats that they could sell to foreign investors that fucking stay there 1 week, a fucking year or something, and most of the time it sits empty. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Fucking, we have seen this fucking happen from the, you know, so I haven't seen no pandemic, I haven't seen no big plan, any of that bullshit. Fucking, what I have seen is the Tories covering their arses, fucking letting people suffer through negligence and fucking trying to cover their own backs, and fucking trying to make a bit of money while they're at it, because that's what the Tories do when there isn't a fucking pandemic. That's normal fucking behaviour. I mean, fucking a lot of fucking clubs have gone out of business over the years, but it is what it is, and the fucking formula that someone sweeps in, turns it into flats, happens over and over and over again. So this is so the situation that we found ourselves in is kind of like a perfect time for people who work in property management to sweep up a few bargains. It's just been very convenient for them. I don't think they caused it, but I do think they're going to take advantage. I do think there's opportunity to take advantage, so someone's going to. But yeah, as for the vaccine itself, yeah, it's the Novavax 2019 nCoV 302, and I am heading to Stockport tomorrow to the testing facility. I'm going to have a bit of a medical, and I'm going to get my first shot on tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be day 0 of it, and I'm going to keep track of my health. They're going to give me a few like little home tests. So if I start having any COVID-y symptoms, I can fucking give myself a quick test and sling them over. And then there's a second shot. It's 2 shots altogether, this, and the other one is on day 21. And after that, my health's going to be monitored to see how I'm getting on with it for a while afterwards. And I'm going to be doing these videos as well, because at the minute, fucking, we can't trust the government. That is a fact. They are cunts. So I think we need some first-hand experience facts here. Like, I know a lot of my mates that fucking are not going to take the government's word for it, or a fucking government promoted advert saying you should take this fucking vaccine, because they don't trust the government, and they're right not to. Whereas if I can say, like, look, I've had it, it was all right, that's a bit more concrete, and you know, maybe if I make these videos, then some other people can see it and all. And if, you know, if it goes shit, I'll fucking say that too. Fucking, I'm putting myself forward to find out the actual facts, and that's what we need these days, is some actual fucking facts and people talking from experience. But yeah, so that's my little opening of what I'm going to be doing with these things. Let's go. If you want to follow me on the socials for the channel, which is normally a horror movie channel, is sinister_cinema on your Twitter and sinister.cinema on your Insta. This kind of stuff, if I'm talking about my experiences with this, is probably going to be on my personal Twitter account. That's at COLAK. That's at Kolak. So yeah, follow me up there, and I'll keep posting these videos regularly. You know, either update you on how I'm doing, or just more of my thoughts, or maybe I'll talk about whatever's been going on in the news regarding fucking vaccines and lockdowns and all this shit. But yeah, so this is day -1. Safe. Backstage breakfast, yo. Boom. Day 0, Sunday the 18th of October morning, and I am about to depart shortly. After this coffee, going to head to the train station, and I'm going to head for my initial checkup, and if the initial checkup goes well, and if I don't have COVID, which I think I'm very unlikely to, because I don't really get out of the house much working from home, I will be getting my first, shot as part of this vaccine trial, the Novavax trial. One thing I should mention is that, some people are going to be injected with the vaccine, and some people are going to be getting a shot of a placebo. So there's also a very realistic chance you could be watching this for literally no reason. But I'm still going to take you through the journey anyway, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. I've been having a look at a few Facebook groups before I come out. Before I go on, I'll say something about the sort of anti-vax groups, because it's worth noting that some concerns from anti-vaccine campaigners do come from a legitimate place. There certainly has been things like the Tuskegee experiments, for whatever, where like the government was secretly hang on, sorry, my cat's got my lavalier mic. There's been things like the Tuskegee go from here. There's been things like the Tuskegee experiment, where I believe it was syphilis was disguised as tuberculosis vaccinations and administered to African American people as part of some research thing that was done in a clandestine way. I don't feel today is going to be that. See, first of all, it's not going to be the government that's in charge of this. It's like a government-approved study, but it's a private company. And the private company want a working vaccine because they stand to make fucking millions if they pull it off. And like, I've got a lot of faith in the virologists of the world, because this is why you get into virology, really, isn't it? Like, to be that guy who saves the world by coming up with a super secret formula that prevents thousands of deaths. So yeah, I've got, to be honest, I'm feeling pretty good about it. As I've said, it's been through initial trials, and no one's had any major problems with it thus far. So yeah, gonna finish my coffee and head out. What's good? Landed on the train. I'm in sunny Cheadle-Hulme. I'm a bit early for my appointment. It's about 20 to 12 now. My appointment's at 1. So going to doss around for a bit, and then I'm going to head over to the place I got to be at, and we'll see what's popping. Safe. And on that note, I am done. I have, been through the process. First up, I pulled up to the place where they were doing it. Then for about, had to wait around for a bit. Then the doctor who was leading the study sat us all down, had a bit of a talk, socially distanced and all that like, and explained us the origin of the vaccine, the origin of the disease, potential side effects we might see, etc, all them kind of things that I went through. And doctor made some observations, you know, height, weight, all this kind of thing. Had to fill in a questionnaire, am I on any previous medications, other things, do I have any other conditions? And then I was moved on, a couple more observations, and they took some blood, which I believe is getting sent to America. So yeah, some of my blood is making it to America before I do, but who knows, I could be the first fucking battler back there, like, if this thing goes nice. But yeah, anyway, then they randomise you, which means that they decide there's only 3 people who know if you're getting a vaccine or a placebo. And the people in charge of that sorted it out, and then I got a shot of something. Which might be the vaccine, might be the placebo. Now, I've all that's done and dusted. Feel all right now. Don't feel any side effects. I've got a bit of an ache in my knee, which they say might have been a side effect, but that could be something else, and also it could be the placebo effect, because someone's recently just told me that mild aching joints is a potential side effect of the vaccine. So don't want to commit to saying anything just yet, but that's what it is. Anyway, I'm going to finish this cig, going to catch me train, get back home, and maybe I'll go into it in a bit more detail when I've got back and had me tea. Safe. And I am back home. It's the end of day 0. I got this little plaster here, which was where I had my bloods taken. That's looking pretty clean. And where I had the injection itself is somewhere back here on the deltoid muscle, and yeah, not much of a mark going on there at all. Looking pretty clean. Side effects wise, not really much popping at all. Like, I can feel a couple of little aches in my knees and that, but again, you know, it could be psychosomatic, or I could just be old as shit. That isn't necessarily a side effect. You know, it might be something that I've just heard because they mentioned a bit of it. I've had a few things with me. I've got 3 COVID tests that if I start showing any symptoms, I'm to bang up my nose and throat and send off. I've got a little digital thermometer that I've been sent home with. I've got all the paperwork type bollocks. That's a study and all that. Got all that shit going on. I've got a card to contact them, and I've got my little thing on how to do the COVID tests if I need to do them. So that's about it for day 1. Day 0 really, day 0, because I'm starting today, innit? Yeah, I was given a ruler and all, and I left it in my bag, and I can't be arsed standing up. I'm here now anyway, innit? Yeah, so I'm gonna eat something now. I'm going to have a steak and some hash brown fries. Yeah, feeling in that kind of mood. And I'm going to edit this quickly, just put the clips together. I'm not going to do any kind of editing post-production with it. I'm just going to drop it as a video diary as is, and I'm going to leave it uploading overnight because I want to get because I want my bandwidth free to watch the King of the Dot battles that are live from 8. So I'm going to do that, leave it uploading overnight. I'm back in work tomorrow, so I'm probably just going to sort out all the tags and the titling and put it live after I've finished work. So yeah, day 0 of the coronavirus vaccine test. Let's see what happens. Safe.